So children, today we are going to see about the simple present tense or present simple, and we are going to see the types of tense. Okay, among that the very first one is simple present tense or present simple, which talks about the action that happens at the present moment or that happens regularly. Okay, action that happens present moment means, for example, the batsman hits the ball hard. Okay, which happens in the present moment. When we take any action that happens regularly, I play with my pet in the park every day. Okay, a state that exists. So when we will use simple present tense, when we want to talk about a state that exists, for example, I feel happy or I feel sad. Okay, next, when we want to express a general truth, for example, the sun rises in the east. Got it, ma? So in this we have a general rule how we are going to form the verb in simple present tense. Noun or pronoun should agree with the verb in number. Always remember, noun or pronoun should agree with the verb in number. Now look at the example what I have given. Mehak plays well. Mehak, we are talking about one single boy. Okay, plays. Since we are talking about one single boy, we have used the verb in plural. Okay, by adding s. Plays well. Got it? Look at the second one. He runs fast. Yes, he runs fast. He is a singular pronoun. So we have used the verb in plural. Runs. Okay. Now look at the next sort of the example. Children play in the park daily. Children is plural. So we have used the verb in singular. They shout loudly. They is plural. So we have used the verb in singular. Shout. They shout loudly. So always remember that whenever the noun or pronoun is singular, the verb will be in plural. Okay. On the other hand, when the noun or pronoun is plural, the verb will be in singular. Hope you're clear with that. Now we are going to see how to convert verb to plural. Okay, you all know, you have learned this rules when you learn singular to plural. Yes, same rule. Okay, when any verb ends with consonant plus y, for example, study, study, study. Here I have given carry. Okay, carry. Now what you will do? Before y there is r. R is consonant. So you will drop Y and you will add IES. Similarly for study also. Before Y there is D. It's a consonant. So you will drop Y and you will add IES. Studies. Okay. Now look at the next one. Verb ending with vowel plus Y. Okay. Now what you will do? You will just add only yes. Okay. Now look at the example. Bray. Okay. BRAY. Bray. Donkey brays. Yes, A. Before Y, A is there. So, A is a vowel. So, you will just add only S in order to make the verb into plural. Are you clear with that? Next, look at the third one. Verb ending with CH, SH, O, X, Z and S. If you find any verb ending with the above letters, what you have to do? You have to add es to the verb. Hope you're clear with it. So children, next we are going to see about the present continuous tense, which talks about the unfinished actions. Here we are using the words such as now, at the moment, these days, today, always, tomorrow, later, for a while, this evening, tonight. These are the words which we normally use when we frame present continuous tense. Okay, now we are going to see how to form present continuous tense. First, when we write subject, along with the subject, we have to write the be form verb. When it comes for present continuous tense, what is the be form verb? Is, am, are. And then we have to add ing to the main or base verb or root verb. Okay, we will tell that as main verb or base verb or root verb. Okay, ma? Yes. So this is how we are going to form the present continuous tense. Okay, we know how to form present continuous tense. Yes. For example, she is a pronoun. Okay, I have used the singular pronoun. I have used the singular pronoun she. Okay, so I have to pick the correct be form verb. When we are talking about one single person, we have to use is. Okay, we have to use is. When we talk about many person, we have to use are. Okay, whenever I comes, we will use am. Got it? Now, look at this. She is running fast. She is subject, is be form verb, running. I have added ing to the run. Okay, she is running fast. Hope you're clear. Now let us see how to add ing to the root or main verb. This is very, very important. Okay. How we are going to add ing to the root or main verb. Now look at here. In most of the root or base or main verb, okay, it has three names. That is why I have given slash or. That slash meaning is or. In most of the root or base or main verb, we add ing as it is. Okay, here which is the root or base or main verb? Want, where, these are the main verb. So in most of the main verb we will just add ing as it is. Apart from that, we have certain rules. For example, any verb ends with e, we will drop e and then we will add ing. Look at the example. Come, the last letter is e, so we have dropped E and we have added ing. Look at the next one. Drive. Drive is ending with letter E. So we dropped E and we have added ing. Now look at the next one. Verb ending with ie. Usually when a verb ends with ie, what we will do? We will drop ie. Instead of ie, we will add y and then we will add ing. Now for example, look at there. Tie. Okay. Lie. Tie is ending with ie, lie is ending with ie. So in you see both the things, I have taken that ie, which means I have dropped ie and I have written y instead of ie, and then I have added ing. Now look at the third one. Verbs ending with consonant, vowel, consonant. If any verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, okay, what you will do? You will double the last letter and you will add ing. Look at the example. dig, dig. D is consonant, I is vowel, G is consonant. So you have to double the last letter. What is the last letter for dig? G. So you have to double G and you have to ing. You have to add ing. Okay. Now look at the second example. Shop. S-H-O-P. Shop. Now look at the H. H is consonant. O is vowel. Then P is consonant. Yes. When you come for 4-letter word, you have to take the last 3 letters. Okay. H is consonant, O is vowel and P is consonant. So we have to double the P. Then you have to add ing. Hope you're clear. So children, now look at the tabular column which I have displayed here. One is subject, the other one is helping verb and the other one is rest of the sentence. Now look at the subject column. He, she, it. When you talk about the singular noun or pronoun, okay, you will use helping verb is. Got it? And look at the rest of the sentence. He is playing in the ground. She is playing in the ground. It is playing in the ground. Okay. Now, look at the next one. We, they, you. When we talk about many person, we will use are. And whenever you comes, we will use are. Yes. So we are cutting the ribbon. They are cutting the ribbon. You are cutting the ribbon. Now look at the cutting. Why we have double the letter T? Because C is consonant, U is vowel and T is consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. If the rule comes like this, what you have to do? You have to double the last letter and you have to add ing. Okay. Now look at the next one. I. Whenever I comes, we used to write the helping verb am. So I am writing a letter to the bank. Write. The verb ends with E. So we have to drop E and we have to add ing. Yes. Now look at the present continuous tense. How we have to frame present continuous tense when we talk about something positive. Okay. How we have to frame present continuous tense when we talk something in negative. Negative means which we can't. Positive means which we can. And how we have to frame the questions in present continuous tense. Okay. So S stands for subject, children, and V stands for verb. Now look at that. S plus am or is or are plus V. V stands for verb. Along with verb, you have to add ing. Okay. So, he is playing. He is playing is a positive sentence. He is playing. Okay. He is not playing. When you add not, it becomes a negative sentence. Okay. Now look at the question. Is he playing? Okay. So using present continuous, you are framing a question. Is he playing? So children, present perfect tense. When we talk about the present perfect tense, we need to know how to frame it and what is it. So present perfect tense means the actions that started in the past which has a continuity in the present is called present perfect tense. We often use words such as just, for, since, already. These are the words which we use to frame present perfect tense. Now, before going to the present perfect tense, okay, let us see the rules. Before going to see how to form the present perfect tense, we are in need to see about some rules. That is regular verb and irregular verbs are of two types, regular and irregular verb. When we talk about regular verb, if we are changing the present verb to the past verb by adding d or ed is called regular verb. Okay, there are three types of rules. For example, when a verb ends with e, we will add only d to it. For example, tie, tie, ends with e, so we are adding only d. Chase is a verb ending with e, we are adding only d. Whereas if a verb ends with consonant, we will add ed. For example, park, parked. Okay, P-A-R-K. Park ends with a consonant K. So we are adding ed. Next rule, when a verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant. This rule we have seen already in present continuous tense. When a verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, what we will do? We will double the letter and we will add ing. Similarly, here also, when a verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, we will double the letter and we will add ed. Okay. Now look at there. Stop. Take the last three letters. T-O-P. T is consonant, O is vowel, P is consonant. So what we have to do? We have to double the letter P and we have to add ed. Yes, when it comes for irregular verb, okay, these irregular verbs are special form of past tense, okay, are special form of past tense verbs, okay, where we won't add d or ed, but we should memorize all these special form of verbs, okay. Irregular verbs will show complete change in spelling. Now look at their example: drive, drove, take, took. Yes, leave, left. Other than this, there are some verbs which remain same for present and past, like cut, cut, put, okay, read, read, hurt, hurt. Yes. So now look at the present perfect tense. I have given a tabular column. Yes, how to frame present perfect tense. There are three columns. One is subject, the first one, and you have helping verb, main verb. Okay, so what is the helping verb when it comes for present continuous tense is am, are. Now here when we talk about the present perfect tense, what is the helping verb? Has and have. Okay, now look at the first one. Whenever we talk about the many person, that is many persons, yes, plural noun or plural pronoun, we will use have, and for I and you we will use have. Yes, for I and you we will use have, first person singulars. Yes, I and you we will use have, and they and we also we will use have. Now, I have decided, you have finished, they have lost, we have chosen. Yes, chosen, we will use the past participle verb. Okay, we will use the past participle verb. Now look at there. When we talk about the single person, that is when the noun or pronoun is singular, we will use has. She has gone. He has chosen. It has lost. Okay. Now look at the example. Why I have given that example, I will explain you. We have eaten all the biscuits. You should not write ate. Okay. You should not write ate. Ate is a irregular form of verb. Okay, here always when you frame present perfect tense, always be cautious that you have to frame like subject yes plus be form verb has or have plus past participle verb. Okay, are you clear? Yes. So shall we pass on to the simple past tense? Next, we are going to see about the simple past tense, children. That is, whenever we talk about the simple past tense, which means actions that already happened. Okay, when we talk about the actions that happened or existed, it becomes a simple past tense. Here, again, I think you will remember this regular verb and irregular verb, where you will use mainly. Okay, so regular verb we saw just now what it is actually. Yes, so when you transform the present tense form of the verb into past tense, you will add d or ed. Okay, then such type of verbs are called regular verbs. Irregular verbs means what? When any verb that does not add d or ed but it shows the past tense by changing the entire spelling, it becomes a irregular verb. Okay, yes, so this irregular verbs, there is no other go, you have to memorize this special form of verbs. Okay, now look at the regular verb. There are three rules. Okay, so when a verb ends with e, we are going to add only d. When a verb ends with consonant, we will add ed. When a verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, we will double the last letter and we will add ed. Irregular verb, we won't add d or ed, but then there is a complete change in the spelling. For example, uh, take, took, okay, make, made. Yes, and there are some other verbs which remain same for the present and past, like put, cut, hurt. Okay, read, these are the things. Now next we are going to see about the past continuous tense. When we talk about past continuous tense, it talks about the action that happens at a particular time in the past when another action happened, which means already an action is happened over there at that particular time. Okay, if any action happens, that becomes a past continuous tense. Okay, now we are going to see how to frame this past continuous tense. It is very simple. Just in present continuous tense, we have be form verb is, am, are. Okay, here in the past continuous tense, we have was and were as the helping verb. Okay, whenever we talk about the single person, okay, if your noun or pronoun is singular, then we have to use the helping verb was. Okay, if we are talking about the plural noun or plural pronoun, then we have to use the helping verb were. Okay, other than that, you have to add ing to the main verb. And we saw the rules how to add ing to the main verb. The same rule will be applicable here also. Yes, hope you're clear. So how you will frame past continuous tense? Subject plus was or were. Okay, it depends according to the subject whether it is singular or plural. Okay, then you have to add ing to the main or root or base form of the verb. Now look at the past continuous tense in positive, negative and question. How we are going to frame past continuous tense when we are going to talk about something positive, when we want to talk something negative, how we are going to frame past continuous tense, and if we want to raise a question, okay, in past continuous tense, in what way we are going to raise. Now S is for subject, okay, V is for verb. Yes, so look at the first positive sentence. She was cooking all morning. Okay, she was cooking all morning. That is positive sentence. Okay? So children, now we are going to see how we have to frame past continuous tense, okay, in a negative format. She was not sleeping when he came home. Okay, now if you want to ask question, how you will frame in past continuous tense? Was she sleeping when he came home? Yes, hope you're clear. Now next we are going to go with a simple future tense. Now when we talk about the simple future tense, it talks about the actions that takes place in the future. Here we often use words such as tomorrow, this week, this month, next year. These are the words which we normally use when we frame simple future tense. Other than this, how we are going to form the verb in simple future tense? We use shall with I and we. Okay, we use shall with I and we. Normally we will use shall with I and we, but in some places we also use will with I and we. Apart from this, we use will with he, she, it, you, they, and for all singular and plural nouns. For all singular and plural nouns, we will use will only. He, she, it, you, they. Got it? Yes. For I and we, normally we will use shall. Sometimes we will also use will. Okay, along with I and we. Hope you're clear. Next, we are going to see how we are going to frame simple future tense. Okay, when we talk about positive. Yes, and then how we are going to frame simple future tense when we talk about negative, and how we are going to frame simple future tense when we want to raise a question. Now look at there. I will go to Thailand. I is subject. Okay, will. I told you before itself, in some places we will use will with I and we. I will go to Thailand. Okay, yes. Next, here in the future tense, you are not going to add ing to the base or main or root form of the verb. You are going to take and write as it is. Got it? So your simple future tense format will be subject plus will or shall plus the base or root or main form of the verb. Okay, now look at the second one. When we want to frame a negative sentence, okay, in the simple future tense, I will not go to Thailand. When you add not, it becomes negative. Okay. When you want to ask a question, will you go to Thailand? Okay. When you want to ask a question in simple future tense, will you go to Thailand? Yes. Are you clear? So, children, now we are going to see about the future continuous tense. Future continuous tense talks about the actions that will be going on sometime in future. Okay. So how we are going to form the verb in the future continuous tense? First, you have to write the subject. It may be singular or plural. Okay. And then we have to write will or shall. And then we have to write be. And then we have to write verb with ing. That is main or base or root verb with ing. Now look at the examples. Okay. I have given some examples. Affirmative means positive, children. Affirmative sentence means positive sentence. Okay. Affirmative or positive sentence will tell you something which you can. Negative sentence will tell you something which you can't. Interrogative, obviously, it's a question. Okay. So, look at the future continuous tense, how they have used to tell something in positive. I will be playing football. Okay. Now, look at the negative. I will not be playing football. Want is the contraction of will not. Okay. I won't be playing football. Next, interrogative, when you want to ask a question. Will I be playing football? Yes. So, if you read the rest of the sentences, you will have an idea, children. Yes. Hope you're clear with the types of tense. Yes. Now, so children, now we are going to see about the future continuous tense. Future continuous tense talks about the actions that will be going on sometime in future. Okay. So how we are going to form the verb in the future continuous tense? First, you have to write the subject. It may be singular or plural. Okay. And then we have to write will or shall. And then we have to write be. And then we have to write verb with ing. That is main or base or root verb with ing. Now look at the examples. Okay, I have given some examples. Affirmative means positive, children. Affirmative sentence means positive sentence. Okay. Affirmative or positive sentence will tell you something which you can. Negative sentence will tell you something which you can't. Interrogative, obviously, it's a question. Okay. So look at the future continuous tense, how they have used to tell something in positive. I will be playing football. Okay. Now look at the negative. I will not be playing football. Want is the contraction of will not. Okay. I won't be playing football. Next. Interrogative, when you want to ask a question. Will I be playing football? Yes. So if you read the rest of the sentences, you will have an idea, children. Yes. Hope you're clear with the types of tense.